Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Morgan and today I'm going to be kind of showing you all of my eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I'm filming this on the 18th. It's going to be probably posted at like the end of December just because I'm currently doing Vlogmas. Not very good, but I'm doing it. And I'm trying to stretch out content as much as I can. I'm actually supposed to be taking my final exams today, so I'll be done with school and hopefully I will film more. I've been really into palettes lately. Also, just a disclaimer, I'm going to be doing a what I got for Christmas video as well. I did ask for a couple eyeshadow palettes for Christmas, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be getting, obviously. They're obviously not going to be in this collection right now, and then for that video, it'll be whatever I end up getting, and that would be my collection. I'm not planning on buying any as of right now. That could always change. So yeah, I guess we're just going to get into it. First off, I'm going to start with a problematic brand that I do not support anymore. I would not recommend you support them either, but I can't exactly tell you what to do. But I'm going to be talking about my Jeffree Star palettes that I've got. So the first one that I purchased, which really started my love, I never bought a palette that was this expensive and everything, and I felt like legit, like I was actually getting a mainstream brand because everything I've gotten before that was drugstore. But I got the Alien palette when it came out. I still really like this color story. This Phone Home shade is my favorite color just in general for any palette, and especially at Christmas time I love using Alien and Abduction and Flying Saucer, and I reach for this palette a lot in fall time, but just in general throughout the year I'll kind of reach for certain shades and whatnot. I like to use Phone Home and like Interstellar for a quick look. I really do like this palette, and this is kind of what got me to buy other things from the brand. I want to say that the Blue Blood was the next palette that I got. I could be wrong. Looks like this. I do really like this palette. I don't use blue eyeshadow like every day because it's just not my favorite color. I mean, I don't use really any color every day, you know, but this isn't reached for all the time just because there isn't as much. If you're not doing blue, you know, there's not much left in this palette, but I do enjoy this Crystal Flush shade right here. It's very, very, very pretty, and I'll do a quick look with using that in Celebrity Skin down here. Also, this white Conan shade here is absolutely gorgeous. I do like this palette. I also do like Ice Tray, but again, it's a blue. That's just my favorite blue in the palette, but multiple standout shades in this palette, so I'm glad I have this palette. It's not an everyday palette for me. I don't think it's going to be an everyday palette for anybody unless, you know, you're very into blue eyeshadow. I don't know who that is, but this would be your palette. I think the next palette that I got was the Jawbreaker, and this is kind of, I love this palette, but this is also where the heel started to rub off for me a little bit because I got it, and this one, I want to say his palettes were like $52, and then he put this one up to like $58 or something, and I was like, okay, but it does have more shadows. And so I really love the color story and everything because it's like got a lot of unique shades and it's very useful to have, but I was just thrown off because I'm not sure if you can see it, but some of the pans are like crooked in there. Like this one right here, if you can see, it's kind of like sticking out. And I was just a little bit thrown off because it's literally the first thing I noticed when I opened the palette, which again is not a major issue because it didn't fall out or anything, but I was just like, it just put a weird taste in my mouth because that was already when I was kind of feeling guilty for supporting him, and then he raised his prices, and then that was the first thing I noticed when I opened the palette, was that it wasn't even like glued in there properly, so I was just like, it kind of irritated me, but this is just me being petty, I guess. Let's not talk about this, but I saved up money, or like at least had money put to the side, just because I loved Shane Dawson since I was in like 6th grade. So it's been like almost 10 years of me liking him. I don't really want to support him anymore either. I miss him, you know, but after all of this, I just can't support them with a good conscience, you know what I mean? So I did get this palette, and to be honest, I got it mostly because it was him and I had saved up for it and everything. I do think that the colors in here individually are cool, but together I don't think this makes any sense, honestly. I use this kind of as like single shadows. I'll pick like 1 or 2 of them to use or something, but a lot of the times I can't get a good complete look out of this. I'm never happy when I try to do a complete look. My favorite shades would have to be Diet Cola and the Sleep Paralysis down here. And then I also do like Just a Theory, but again, that also reminds me of that one in the Blue Blood palette. I also have the Mini Controversy palette, which, again, a couple people talked about it when it first came out, and I'm kind of even more, like, and I kind of blew it off, honestly, which I know I shouldn't have done. But now that I think about it, naming a palette controversy is a little bit suspicious, because it's like you're profiting even more off of all of your scandals and everything, which scandals, it's more like you don't have very good morals. But anyway, also just like looking it up, I mean, I don't think it helped them, obviously, but you look up like Shane Dawson controversy, you're gonna see this palette. So it was just a little bit shady of them to do that. But I do use this quickly for looks, but again, this is not very cohesive to me. Honestly, I love that green shade that they ended up putting it in, which I thought that was kind of weird that they didn't release it as a single. They released this palette, hyped up the green shade, and then after everybody bought it, they put the green shade in. But you can't buy it individually. So if you already have this palette, you have to buy this palette again just to get the green shade. So I think that's kind of really like a money grab from them, which I know it's a business, and that whole documentary thing was a money grab in the end. But it's just, that rubbed me the wrong way. But even if I got that green shade, because yes, it's beautiful, it still would not make any sense. So, and that was the last thing I ever purchased from that brand, and please don't support them. But I did pick up for Black Friday the Smoky Glow palette by Minus Cosmetics. In my vlog, if you've already seen that, probably, I don't know if you remember, but I did open it and actually had this white shade completely fall out of the pan, which was kind of upsetting to me, honestly, but I just glued it back in. It wasn't a big deal, but I was just like, oh no, I feel bad. But yeah, I just absolutely love this palette. I'm glad I finally got my hands on it. I love Smoky Glow, and I just think that it's really cool. This palette's very pretty, very romantic. I can grab it to make easy looks for work and everything, and yeah, there's a lot of really pretty shades in this. Also, I love this outside packaging, but I don't have it anymore because I was like, it's kind of stupid to keep it, but the sleeve that this came in was literally what I would have made my own palette. Like, I loved the color of it. It was like mauve color, and it had silver writing on it. I loved it. Along with that, I got the Flower Bomb palette, which is pretty, and I know this was my fault, but I honestly, like, I tried one of the pressed glitters. I kind of don't like how there's not really a shimmer in here. I mean, there's like 2 shimmers. The rest of them are pressed glitters, so I don't know exactly if I can figure out how to use pressed glitters. I'm just not too familiar with it, and I don't want anything to happen because I know that they're not really eye safe technically. But yeah, the rest of it, if those weren't like pressed glitters, I love this. I just need to figure out how to work with this palette. I have the Lime Crime Venus 1 Immortalis, sorry. And it's just like the gray one. I really love silvers and grays. Like purple and gray are basically my favorite colors. I mean, this is like a sparkly matte white, so that's a little bit weird, but I'll just use that in my inner corner. This is like a satin shade, so I'm like, eh. So I guess, I don't know, I mean, I can make really pretty looks out of this. I'm just like a little bit iffy about this too, like this. And apparently this glows in the dark, but I honestly have not tested that, so I have no idea if it does. And I also have the Lime Crime Venus 3, and I love this very much. I love purples. As I just said, I love purple and gray. And I really love this. Well, this Dreamy shade is like my complete favorite color. Like, I love mauves. Purples especially. And then, I know this isn't a purple, but Heavenly is very pretty. And just am very happy that I got these palettes. I got them for half off, like the 21 Days of Beauty or something. And then, this is the only Morphe palette that has survived. This is the Morphe 35M. I think it's the Boss Mood palette. Honestly, I don't use this as much. I don't use this too much, and there's a lot of dark shades that kind of intimidate me, but at the same time, I don't want to get rid of it just because I love this, like, quadrant over here. But I also sometimes forget I have this, honestly. I recently tried Colourpop's eyeshadow for the first time, and it was because of this little palette. I don't know anything about Star Wars, honestly, the basics, and I've never watched Mandalorian, but I've had a dilemma because I know this is not Baby Yoda, the child, but I want to call him Baby Yoda. I think he is so freaking cute. And I don't want to get like a shirt or anything because it's like I don't want to be a fake fan. I don't want to be phony. But I was like, I can get a palette because it's like I can just stare at his little face and it's so cute. And then like the colors on the inside I definitely will use. And also I love how it says the cutest in the galaxy on the mirror. Like, this is so cute. This is so cute. And also the packaging feels so nice. And then in the same order I got the In a Trance palette by Colourpop. And it's a pastel palette. I'm very shocked. I have only used it with a white base. The e.l.f. Putty Primer base. I love that thing. Like, I have such oily eyelids and I just can't ever get my eyeshadow to not crease or just like fade away. And the Putty Primer is the only primer I found that actually like keeps it on my eyes, so I'm like in love. I didn't even know that could exist. I just thought I was destined to never have my eyeshadow last. But anyway, I use the white one of that, and so I've only ever used it with a white base, but I'm very shocked by how pigmented these are in my eyes. Like Future Self here, I assumed like it's a pastel blue. I assumed it was not going to show up like at all, but it actually did, so I was really shocked. And mine's eye color is beautiful. The clarity is like a sort of white with like purple blue duochrome. Own Your Power, Up Level. These colors are amazing. I love this palette so far. I haven't used it that much, but every time I have, it's been beautiful. Then I have the Honey palette. I've only used this like once or twice, but again, it was very beautiful. I'm kind of annoyed that there's pressed glitters in this, by the way, because as I said before, the Midas palette, I don't know exactly how to use those, and I'm just a little scared, and I might try it. This Sunburst shade I really like also because it's like, it's yellow, but it's not. There's like some sort of, I don't know how to explain it. There's like a little bit of a weird shift to it that I really like. Kind of cool. I also love how these like brownie colors are so yellow toned, but they're browns. I think this is a really well done palette. I also have this one Essence eyeshadow palette that I honestly don't like, but I keep it because my boyfriend gave it to me, and sometimes I'll try and mess around with it. It's kind of thrown me off from trying any other palettes from the brand. It's the I'm With The Band palette, and it just looks like this, and yeah, cool color story, but oof. This is the NYX Happy Birthday palette. I honestly have no idea what year this was. I want to say 2017, but I could be wrong. But it was the birthday gift for July at Ulta. It looks like this. I don't use it too much, but I do really like the shimmers. Like the shimmer right here is so soft and buttery, and this shimmer right here and this shimmer right here are super buttery. So I love them. The Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. I love Christmas, and I just could not get this out of my head. I like this palette a lot. It's got a lot of warm tones. It smells good, and it's just really nice if you're in the Christmas spirit. To like listen to Christmas music and put your makeup on with this. It's just, I know it's cliche, but you have to be like the right person to get this, and I feel like I'm the right person because I just love Christmas so much. So I'm very happy I got this because this little gingerbread man can stare at me. And the packaging is gingerbread, and it smells like Christmas, and it's so nice. And all the names are Christmas themed. It's so cute. Then I also got the Pumpkin Spice palette. I love this also. I haven't used it too much just because it is a little bit newer, but I do like this a lot. I've used it for work and everything. I really like this Sweetie Pie shade. I used this Sweetie Pie shade along with this Fall Vibes, and it made me a very nice like green look, but like suitable for work, so I thought it was really, really pretty. And I cannot wait. I don't know why I haven't used them yet, but I can't wait to use these purples. So like after Christmas time, because I'm trying to do more Christmas looks, but even like going to work, because I have to be a little bit more safe with Christmas looks at work. I'll try to use these purples because they're a little bit, I mean, some of the purples are a little bit more purple, but I could try to work with this, so it's very pretty. And then I do have the Sultry palette by ABH. I'm not sure if they still sell this or what's going on. I think you can get it in like gift sets and stuff, but I don't know if it's going to be permanent, so it might be a limited edition. Of course, I can't keep the stupid thing open. It looks like this, and I just love how cool toned it is, and I actually like all of the shimmers. I thought I was only gonna really like the Cyborg shade, but I do like, you know, the rest of them too. This is nice for like a quick sultry look. Then of course I have the Subculture palette. I got this at TJ Maxx, and I'm sure you've seen it before, but it just looks like this. This got me into like weird makeup because if you look at it, you can't make like a normal look out of this. Like unless you're gonna use this fudge shade and like adorn, you gotta be a little bit weird about this. Next up, I have the BH Cosmetics Mimosa palette, which looks like this. This makes such pretty pinky coral looks. I love this. I have the Afrique palette by Juvia's Place, which looks like this. I have the Nubian 3 Coral palette by Juvia's Place, which I really like because I love peachy tones, but I also love the silvers. And then I like how there's just the basic like browns in here. It kind of got me into like the brown, darker brown smoky eyes kind of, because I have a hard time with darker colors. This is the Juvia's Place Deuce palette, I think is how you say it. I heard that this was being discontinued, which honestly I'm glad I finally got it because I was having such a hard time getting it, and I've always wanted it, so I finally picked it up. It looks like this. I love that minty color and that fuchsia in the middle, and the one that started it all, Juvia's Place Magic Mini. Absolutely love this trio of shimmers right there, as well as like the rest of the palette, but that's just really the standouts for me. Next up, I have the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. My boyfriend got this for me, which is really cute because he was like, I know that you like, why can't I get this thing open? I just used this today. This is what's on my eyes. Why isn't that opening? Hello? I was like, did I break it? But this is what's on my eyes today. My boyfriend got this for me, and it was very cute because he picked this out himself. I did not ask him for this. I honestly didn't know this even existed. And he was like, oh, I know you've been using green and blue in your eyes a lot lately. I was like, oh, he noticed. I got this. It's weird though, because with these pressed glitters, there's two of them right here. I used this one today. I literally put my finger in it and tapped it on my eyelid, and I don't even know if you can tell, but I did that. And I can use these just fine. Maybe it's my own issues there. Then I also have this e.l.f. palette called the New Classics. This is just a neutral palette. I saw this first mentioned by Jessica Braun. I picked it up. I have the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette, which looks like this. I really, really like this. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say this. Mykonos. And I love Bora Bora and Bali. I mean, of course I love the whole palette, but those are some standouts for me. I also have the Ace Beauté Paradise Fallen palette, and it's a purple palette with silvers in it and browns, which of course my favorites. So I do really like this. I love Orion and Moonglow, but then I also like the purples. I have the Prodigy palette by Sample Beauty, which looks like this. I've always kind of saw this on Beauty Bay, and I was like interested in getting it, but I never did, but I finally picked it up. And I really like Moonstone down here. Diaspore, sorry. Stone is like my favorite color, like Phone Home in that Jeffree Star palette. This has been fun to mess around with. I have the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. It's not really my favorite. I don't really use this that much. Okay, anyway, but I don't really use this palette that much. But I do have it. It was one of my first, I think it was my first, high-end palette. And I actually got this palette from Five Below. It's called Soft Glam, which is very funny because it looks nothing like Soft Glam. But you know, gotta profit off the names. But it looks like this. It's just a very mauve neutral palette. And I just wanted to test something out from Five Below. And so yeah, I got it. And I actually really like this palette, surprisingly. I never said it while I worked there, but I did work at Five Below. So when I bought this was actually when I was kind of thinking about leaving. So I was like, I'm gonna try Five Below while I can get it discounted and just see if the makeup's good, because I always thought it was bad, but it was actually pretty good. I'm sure half of the rest of it is terrible, but I was surprised. I have the e.l.f. Mad for Matte in the Summer Breeze variation. Looks like this. Then I have the Mad for Matte Jewel Pop. Looks like that. Then I have the Menagerie Cosmetics Pastel Puff, which is adorable. And I love the names in here. It's very, very cute. And last but not least, I have the Nomad Cosmetics Tokyo Harajuku palette, which looks like this. That is my entire eyeshadow collection. Comment down below what is a palette that you have been wanting for a long time but somehow you just haven't gotten, whether it's been out of stock or you just can't justify getting it, or you just don't really have a reason for not getting it, you just haven't gotten it yet. Because I do have a couple of those and I might make a video about that. So just let me know what palettes that you just haven't gotten yet but that you would love to add to your collection. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!